Hey, this is John Carlos, and I'm here with a look at the Kane figure from Series 3 of NECA's Aliens figures. Right off the bat, I've got a problem with this figure. I've been kind of playing with the articulation, and when I touch the shoulder pieces, some of the paint has come off onto my fingers. It's still wet. I don't know if the actual paint's wet or if just, the some sort of oil has got on there and sort of mixed with the paint. But yeah, that's bad. Despite my disappointment with that shoulder paint problem, I'm going to keep reviewing this like everything's fine. The actual sculpt of this figure is just insane, and they did a pretty good job articulating all this stuff. We'll go in for a closer look here, and you can see just like how well sculpted this is, as far as like all the different textures going on here. We got like his shin pads, but you've got this netted section on his thighs, and then the actual fabric of the main costume itself. You see how like the fabric kind of like bunches up back here. And then all the different colors of paint being used to achieve this. It's really great work as far as like paint and sculpt goes. All the different yellows and oranges being used. He's got good range of motion as far as the feet go too. His boots look good, and they have a ball jointed ankle. You got the single joint knee, which is kind of tight. That's a bit annoying. But the little hip joints are pretty good, although I don't like the fact that you can see into the hip joint so easily, but I know that this is kind of a funky outfit, and that's, the best you can do, but I don't like seeing in there like that. But I love everything else that's going on here as far as like the chest goes. This little doodad here, I like the fact that they achieved not only the copper paint, but the way, copper rust with that sort of turquoisey green. So it's really, really good. It creates like a lived-in kind of eroded effect, just like how it looks in the movie. The good use of paint also continues onto the arms, where not only is there great sculpting there as well, but you've got like yellow and orange and that sort of cream yellow. You've got this sort of more bland color around his arm, and then more copper and green paint going on there. I love the fabric texture it's being used on the back here, and little details like the little yellow and red paint on those little buttons. The gloves look good too, as far as like the actual sculpt and the use of colors there. I mean, there's some really, really great work being done here. If this wasn't so damn wet, I would rave about the shoulders, but I do like the colors being used there, as far as like the green mixed in. A little problem I'm having though with the articulation, which is great. You lift up the arms, but then you bring them back down, and the paint goes onto the yellow there. So again, another disappointment from this figure by NECA. Man, that really pisses me off. But you can see underneath the chest the little fabric going on there. I like the little piping going around the sides by the neck there. And man, the back of this looks good. If you take a look at this, I love the little red knobs, all the little lights and buttons. The sculpting's good, but man, all the little details as far as the back of this goes, even that little patch on the back. Now take a closer look at his head, because John Hurt does not lend out his likeness rights. In fact, the one time he lent out his likeness rights was for the Doctor Who War Doctor figure, and that was it. If you look at that old Hot Toys that they made of Kane, same thing. There's a face hugger on his face, and you don't get an actual Kane figure. So they're lucky with this one. He doesn't want to give out his likeness rights. He does have a face hugger on his head in the movie, so that's the perfect figure to make for this actor. And I think the face hugger looks really, really good. They did a great job also with like how gnarly his the little fingers and the knuckles are. They did a good job capturing the overall shape of it. And you can't see the detail of, his sculpted hair there. But just like those little bladders on the side, this all looks really good. Now, he comes with a few accessories, including this helmet, which we'll attach in a moment. But man, the sculpting on this helmet, all the little details going along the edge right there and over the top. Some great little sculpting work. And again, the use of the turquoise on here and the colors on the back. Some really, really good work on here. I really dig this helmet. Also, he comes with this flashlight with a little metallic thing here that's almost reflective, yep. And he also comes with this pistol, which we will try to sling onto him in a bit. But the pistol does look good. I like the silver paint mixed in with the black and the red. It's also worth mentioning that while some figures have a basic mid-torso cut, this one's got a cut at the waist, which is great that it's kind of hidden by the belt line there. It's a nice touch. But it's also got a secondary cut right up here by the upper ribs. So that's a nice touch as well. I've never really seen figures with two cuts like that very often, and they're lucky that all this stuff kind of obscures those cut lines, because if this is like a regular human torso, it would look really bad. I also want to point out that my elbow joints don't move at all. They're really, really stiff. There's the bicep cut there, and there's a cut right below the elbow. but man, these are really stiff joints. Now this helmet does come apart. So you just move those tubes from the back out of the way and sort of spin the helmet around. And it does kind of pop into place there. Then you just attach the front section like so. And then we just connect those little tubes in the back. Well, that one just popped in by itself, but there is a secondary hole that little tube goes into right there. There's a little strap or sling on the right hip of the figure, which is perfect for sliding the pistol into, which is what I've done because neither of these hands are sculpted to hold a pistol. They don't have the index finger up. In fact, this right hand is pretty much sculpted to grip the flashlight. It's a basic grip, and the left hand's a little more relaxed. But I do think it's cool that they included the pistol, and I think this figure on the whole looks really good as far as like the sculpt goes. The overall paint job of this, it's really impressive. I dig the way the glass of the helmet's bent in like it was in the movie when the facehugger went through. So I'm sure you guys will get a better figure than I did, but mine's major disappointment because my thumb, I already washed my hands, and just touching it again, I got it all painty and gross. So that's a big disappointment for me, but despite my disappointment, it's a cool looking figure. I'm sure you'll have much better luck than me. Thanks for watching.